My name is Sunny. We are 3 weeks into Stitchery Witchery. I didn't do a lot of stitching this week, but I'll show you what I have done. This is my second year doing Stitchery Witchery, and this year I've decided to do 4 projects, each themed after a different season, and the projects are bookmarked, so I decided to find a book that represented each season. This week is summer. When I was trying to figure out what to choose for summer, I kept coming back to Shakespeare, and I think it's because of Sonnet 18 that it starts off, "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?" And I know that's not part of Romeo and Juliet, but once I think of Shakespeare, I think of Romeo and Juliet, and then I had a really good idea for a bookmark come into mind, so that's why Romeo and Juliet this week. It is Monday. I just finished the pattern for this week's project. So this week we're going with Romeo and Juliet. I wanted something that was like classic medieval sort of tapestry looking design, so I came up with this little border here at the top. It'll also be down here at the bottom, but I only have the one piece made up, so I'll just mirror that at the end. But this is the quote that I went with. It's been so long since I've read Romeo and Juliet. I believe this is what Romeo says. "Say thus with a kiss, I die." And I don't know why, but whenever I think of Romeo and Juliet, I think of rose. These are the colors that I've chosen for this project. I really love this like golden color with this red. This darker color is only going to show up in the center of the rose, so it's basically these colors. The rose is going to be these colors. It's actually a red color, not like a coral. And I need to add some kind of contrasting color, probably for the border, to go along with this gold, just to set it off. I'm not really sure what I'm going to use at this point. I'm going to experiment and see what we've got. I picked up a brown for the text, and this white I think can be used strategically here and there because this is a nice ivory color, so that'll stand off if I need to highlight something or put a little symbol on it or something. As I was making this pattern at work today, one of my coworkers tried to guess what I was making because I was sketching the rose. He asked if it was Beauty and the Beast, and I was like, wow, that's actually a really good guess, but it's not. I didn't even think about the fact that, a rose is heavily associated with Beauty and the Beast. I've been watching tons of Disney movies lately, and I keep telling everybody at work about it, like, oh, I watched this movie today and that movie yesterday and blah 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 blah. They know that I'm working on this project right now where I'm making these various bookmarks based on, whatever. So that's actually a really good guess, but not. I do have a smaller version of the stem because I originally did the stem way too small, and it looked really funny, but I really like the way that it turned out, so I may end up doing a Beauty and the Beast rose at some point in a really small pattern or something, but I like this pattern, I like how it's come out, and I'm excited to get to it. It's Tuesday night, and I got a lot done on the pattern today. I started it at work, got quite a bit done, and pretty much all I wanted to do when I got home was just keep working on it. There it is. So there's the rose, and I like how simple it is. I used one strand of thread for the whole thing. Used different colors here in the rose to give it different, to give it some depth. It's a little hard to see the lighter colors. These leaves, now that I have this top part done up here, these leaves I'm wondering if they may need a little definition in them, some veins or something, but I really like the way that it's turning out. So all that I have left to do is the pattern at the top and at the bottom, and then text here, and a fallen rose petal. It's Wednesday night, and I've gotten quite a bit done. This is where I'm at on the pattern. It looks pretty much done, but there is a bit here at the top, and then also down by the bottom. to kind of enclose the design a little bit and really pull out the fact that it's Romeo and Juliet. The only thing I'm not 100% happy with right now is the weight of the line here for this stem. It's one thread. The whole rose is one thread. The only place where I've used two threads is Kiss and Die, and that's simply because I wanted them to stand out a little more. The border here is going to be in two threads, and that'll actually be cross-stitched for the most part. And yeah, I just, it could just be this color of the stem is not dark enough to really stand out that much. It looks fine here, but in darker light it doesn't stand out that much. But otherwise, I'm very satisfied with this.
This pattern went by really quickly. The design was fairly simple. I worked on it for the first 2 days of the week and I got the bulk of the pattern done. I had a bunch of other things to work on, so I didn't really do much stitching throughout the week. And then I finished it up the other day. Here's the final design. I believe this is what Romeo says in the end when he believes that Juliet is dead. I have just a single stemmed rose with a couple little thorns on it, and a petal that's fallen down here near I Die. It was pretty bare. It fit this bookmark, but it needed something at the top and at the bottom, and I was already planning on putting in a border for this pattern anyway. I was trying to find something that was that fit with the time period of Romeo and Juliet and that wasn't too labor intensive like Harry Potter, because I still haven't finished that one. So I wanted to put another color in here that wasn't red or green, so I pulled out this blue. I thought that looked lovely with the little gold in there as well. And this is the first time I've ever done French knots. I put them in these little designs here at the top. And here you can see the little French knots there in the corners. Here's the rose. And these were the first knots that I did. They are not that great. And there it is overall. Overall, I'm really pleased with this design. If I were to spend a lot longer on this pattern, I think I'd come up with something a little more elaborate for that top and bottom border. Maybe find something to run all the way down the sides to kind of link that together. I think it would be really pretty. But that center part of it, the rose, was really challenging to figure out how to get that to look like an actual freaking rose. But I somehow managed to get that to work. And my coworkers were pretty impressed this week with how quickly it went together, because every time we sat down for a break, I was just like stitch, 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 and then suddenly I had a rose. And they've been kind of looking at me weird while I'm stitching at work, but you know what? I've got plans. I've got this project. I want to get it done. Next week for Stitchery Witchery, we're doing fall. And there's a lot of fun things that we can do for fall, and I'm really looking forward to showing you what I have for the pattern. It's going to be appropriate for the season. I hope that your week has been productive and that you've been having fun doing some kind of creative project this week. Let me know in the comments below what you're working on, and if you have any pictures to share, please share them. I love seeing what other people are working on. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you with another project.